welcome to episode 16 of the Monkey Business Podcast. We have Seb and Johan. Whoop, whoop. What's up, boys?
What's up? Good to be back. Yet another day, another podcast.
Yes, Seb is in prison right now, again.
I'm still in prison. One day I'll get out.
We have not been able to get you out yet.
No.
So today we have a few topics that are very important to cover. And let's go right into it. Tiebreakers. What the heck just happened, dude?
ESL doing ESL things.
I'm not even surprised at this point.
So let's just give the audience a little bit of an understanding of what happened. So there were specific rules that were sent to us for the DPC. In those rules, it said that the only tiebreakers that we played will be for going to the major and not going to the major, and being relegated and not being relegated. Nothing else will be played. And then they decided to change the format of the major, and then decided that they were going to readjust the rules for the tiebreakers. And to my knowledge, it was a request from Valve. The problem, it was communicated to us and to the rest of the teams after the league was done, which makes no sense.
In your word, it doesn't make any sense. In their word, I'm sure it's perfectly fine.
Well, it doesn't make sense. And the best part of this is that we suddenly all found out when players are already traveling, they're going back home, the bootcamp has already finished because everybody's done. And we're like, oh, wait, we have to come back and play. And it became more clowny because my favorite part of all of this is that Liquidpedia took the page down of the DPCs. That was the master move.
Why did they do that, by the way? Can you explain? I actually don't know why they did that.
Alright, so this is what I'm so proud. Liquidpedia, you guys are a bunch of bosses. So good for you guys.
As a reaction, they did that?
So they have a lot of fake tournaments of Dota where people matchmake into the results. And these websites of betting use Liquidpedias to extract the names of the games and the tournaments and the times for those betting things. So these fake tournaments with fake teams use the fact that they're listed in Wikipedia to fake games and match fix. So Liquidpedia has to do a lot of work to make sure that that doesn't happen. And it happened a lot last year with fake Chinese teams and tournaments. And Liquidpedia had to go and start looking at lobbies and Dota buffs to see if the games were there. So they came with guidelines of if a tournament does not at least comply with these basic things, we would not list them on our website because they're fake tournaments. One of them is consistent rules and a consistent rulebook. Therefore, the DPCs broke that specific guideline.
That's actually really funny.
Therefore, they're a fake tournament and we need to get them out of the website. It's great.
That's actually hilarious. So Valve kind of just got blacklisted by Liquidpedia, kind of, in a way. About time, I guess.
But dude, it was like the guys from Liquidpedia, some of them were like getting even personal threats and everything from these Chinese tournaments because, I mean, they're taking them down, you know? But it's just very, very funny that protective layer for all of us to be protected. Now, Valve broke it by changing the rules after the tournament, which means that it's an illegal tournament, which means that you don't get listed. So there you go. You have some tier 3 tournaments listed, but not the main DPC. It's hilarious. And yeah, it was a clusterfuck. And it's actually more complicated of a clusterfuck because it seems that some regions knew before other regions. So there are other regions that knew a week ago, and we found out the night before the Liquid and Gaming Gladiators game. Like, oh, by the way, this game that is about to be played, if they win, you have to play tomorrow. I'm like, what? We're not even screaming. We left the bootcamp. We're gone.
The fuck?
Yeah, so.
What's going on, man? How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
People have been talking about the tiebreakers for a week. Like, obviously, I think it makes more sense that, some teams found out earlier than like last week. But then how do some teams in some regions find out earlier? Wow.
Johan, we have been messaging them for a week. Liquid has been messaging for a week. By the way, we need to know what's happening here because just like us, they have visas, they have hotels, they have bootcamps. So everybody was trying to find out. No answer from anybody for a whole week. Zero answer. 0. And I understand, look, I'm intellectually capable of understanding their predicament. Their problem is we don't know, we don't want to communicate wrong information to you, so we're going to wait until we know. But that's not the way to do it. Just tell me what you know, and if you are finding out new information, tell me when you find out, you know? Not trying to give me a final answer the day after everybody's left. So yeah, it was a very bad look, and I feel bad for everybody, but come on, like, if you want to change the rules, don't change them after the tournament is done.
On the bright side, to be honest, easy top 1. Easy. Woke up today, high five Chu, high five Misha. I was like, good job, you know, number 1. They didn't even show up.
Easy tiebreakers.
Easy tiebreakers.
So yeah, these guys have achieved what we could not achieve in a while, huh? Being number 1 on the DPCs. And
I mean, getting to a major and getting there like in style. Yeah.
That was a pretty dominant season. That was pretty impressive. And honestly, the Secret Series, I think you could make a case for a draw if not a loss. So yeah, actually impressive, super impressive.
Oh man. So yeah, to finish the tiebreakers thing, obviously we saw the outrage on Twitter and on Reddit, and I think that the comments were always the best part. I mean, I hate and I love Reddit. I have a complicated relationship because I hate how much they trash talk everybody, but some of the comments are hilarious. Yeah. They're very, very funny.
Yeah. It's good content sometimes. It's very good content.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of like I think there's a lot of like male tweets or like male jokes too. And now guess what? King of males, Jay, the ultimate.
I learned my lesson, you know. I might be silly one time. Yeah. You're not gonna catch me all the time.
Oh, I mean,
I'm gonna bombard you with emails.
ESL made this happen, you know. They made it happen.
And I think that Johan and Seb know how many emails I send per week. So I'm quite active on the email metaverse. So yeah, dude, look, at the end of the day, ESL went back. They fixed it. I was gonna say no harm done. Obviously, it's harm and it's done and it's funny. But look, at least you know, community won. Community won ESL 15, but we get a win here. Okay, so what do you think? With Nigma now has to go down to Division 2, and they have to go through the longer route. They don't have any way to go to the major, therefore they don't have any more ways to get points.
Wait,
so now they're locked into the close qualifiers.
Oh, to the major. Sorry, yeah.
So their only way to TI right now is through the close qualifiers at the end of the year.
Which at this point you could make a case that it doesn't really matter because they're starting from the bottom anyway, like in terms of where their team is, obviously. So you know whether they actually have to start from the bottom in terms of the route to TI, I think it's whatever, right?
The only question is going to be how many of the potential top 6 teams at TI would be in this Europe qualifier, you know, like who else is going to be there playing them? Is it going to be Liquid again? Is it going to be Secret? Like who's it going to be?
How many teams are going to make it?
Of course.
Like how many teams are going to be like in terms of numbers? Like how many teams are going to be in it? Like
I don't think Valve knows.
Okay.
so okay, Seb, if we follow the normal rules,
you
know, there's teams that are going to be directly qualified through points. So let's say if we do very good at European teams, you know, and we directly qualify, there will be 1 slot more available.
So probably 3 European, like let's say 4 European teams at best. At best.
We could have 5.
No, you could even have 6, right? Like you're gonna have teams qualify one season and then 2 other teams qualify and do well. Like that's enough points.
So for example, if we do Gaming Gladiator, like let's say that we won the major and then Gaming Gladiators finish 2nd, and then next season we don't make any points, we could potentially still qualify to TI. And that gives all the points to the next one. You know, Liquid wins season 3 and then Liquid goes the major and they qualify as well.
Yeah.
So we could end up with 6 teams in Europe.
The
problem is that, in theory, correct. The problem is that the regional leagues give too much points. So you're going to have teams on...
They balanced it out though a little bit. That's good though. I'm looking at it now. It's 400 points for top 1. And that equals to 5-6 at the major, which I think sounds already a little bit more reasonable. I think when we competed, it was like almost the same amount of points, if not more.
It was exactly the same.
The same, yeah. Which was unbelievably stupid.
It's the same as that.
It was so
winning South American League, winning the South American League
was like winning the major.
Same amount of points.
Yeah.
That winning the major.
Yeah, perfect. No problem. I don't know.
No problem.
That when you say it.
Yeah.
Too stupid.
I mean, the amount of the amount of stuff, honestly, we have dealt with over the years is crazy when you think about it. But right now, it looks better. Like 400 points, if you win the league, that's equal to top 6 at the major. Honestly, like on paper,
I think
it
it would
doesn't
make
sound so
sense
bad.
if there was like 3 majors. Now that there's only 2, it just feels weird in a way because
Yeah, it's still maybe too
in
much.
theory you get this, you flunk out 16. In theory, you still get invited to TI.
Yeah, yeah. So less
Potentially.
points
Like,
at the major, right? You mean?
yeah, like last place at the major, and you don't even qualify to the next major. There's maybe still a way that from this top 1, you actually can get enough points because if the same teams that do well really compete, and then once next season get like top 4 instead, and then flunk out, like this could be enough in
What would
theory, right?
be a good number?
What's a safe number? I don't know.
Okay, so
Not
let's
sure
say somebody mistakenly, that's like not a good way to say it, but like somebody gets top 1 at the regional league, that's 400 points. I mean, I would still like to see a team that did like, that went top 3 at the major, top team that I don't know. How do you feel about like placing at the major versus placing at the league, like in terms of comparison? What's more important? Roughly, it doesn't have to be precise, but
I think if you win a major, you have enough points to qualify to TI directly.
yeah,
No matter what.
Yeah,
Any major should get you to TI.
that's kind of the case, or isn't it? Unless you get nothing besides winning the major, but no,
Well,
because
so
if
how
you
much
win the
is
major,
first place?
6,
In the major?
it's a 700, almost 680. right now.
700 for winning?
Yeah, that's almost double winning the regional league.
Well, how much is, let's say, 8th place at the major?
I think it's 0. I think you only no, sorry, it's 200. So 8th place at the major is like 2nd in the league. I think it sounds kind of balanced.
For me, I would say I would
let's
give
say-
800 points to the winner of a major. 800.
Let's
Yeah,
say I get
'cause
second
last-
place. Let's say I get second place at the league.
Yeah.
Then I get how much again?
You get 240.
160.
200? 240. And then how much do I get from 8th place?
Exactly the same, 240.
240. So you get
Yeah.
480.
I was going to say, Johan, one thing. Last year, the qualification of TI was 800 points.
Like the ceiling?
Yeah, you needed to get 800 to get into TI directly.
Yeah. So this year, in order to achieve that, you need to win a league and place top 5 at a major, and you make it. Which honestly, if you were a team that won a league and made a top 5 at the major, you're a strong team. Like you're probably in the top 18 in the world.
Yeah. No, it sounds good to me. Honestly, it does sound good to me.
But now I'm going to fuck everything up because China and CIS might not go to the major. Now what?
Yeah, that's tricky. And what about the CIS? Have they
Fuck, good
given
luck.
any update on the league?
Nope.
Shit, man.
Nope.
Nothing.
That
Yeah?
is. Oh my god.
But it's weird
So
because
there is a world.
they're
There is a world with a major and not there.
but they're playing CIS tournaments though. I've seen like what's it, the Dota League? What's it called? The D2CL Champions
sir.
League. It's being played out with the CIS teams, or most of them, honestly. I mean, obviously, some of the teams can compete. I guess Navi and stuff. Yeah.
Is a Spirit playing? I mean,
No, they're not.
think
But
they are,
they're
yeah.
playing scrims, so they could play.
That's
I mean-
crazy. So what?
So out of the CIS teams, which ones cannot play right now? It seems like Navi. We haven't seen Navi play, and the other teams that have Ukrainian players, I've seen them play. Mind Games, they're playing some tier 2 tournaments, and Spirit, they're playing scrims. And the Navi players are actually playing pub games, but they haven't announced anything, I guess.
yeah, if I have to make a guess, and this is just my own guess, CIS and China will not play the major. They will look to happen what happens in Major 3.
Is China
And
because
then
of
what they will
COVID?
do- Yeah.
Mm.
And they will create their own, let's say that they just invite 4 teams directly to TI from China, and that's it. And they don't participate on the rest of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's my assumption. Which means that now they have to readjust the teams, or they just have to have more teams at TI.
Yeah.
Which is okay, I don't think it's a horrible thing, You invite 20, 22 teams, and then we play it out there. I'd rather have that than the other shenanigans.
LGD is dominating China for the what now?
They're on fire.
TI8, TI9, TI10, 4th year in a row where they're like, it looks like they're gonna be the favorites again. for the 4th year in a row.
Had you watched them play? They're playing really, really
Yeah,
well.
they're killing it.
Smashing.
They're super strong. Yeah. It's amazing.
I saw the game last week and they were like, holy shit, they look so dominant.
They're very strong, very strong. I think China is looking very strong though right now. A lot of very strong teams, honestly.
Dude, I'm so excited about the major. I wish they were coming because I really want to see how they do, you know? I
Yeah.
want to see the gaming
International Dota is so much more fun, you know.
it's
Like
the
you
best.
actually you test also just so different Dotas, like because it is obviously more similar region to region. Like in Europe, they play similar heroes more than we would, and there's heroes that the Eastern regions won't see. The like NA and whatever, like everybody gets to kind of show something that they've bred or like that their region kind of breeds. And without that, I feel like Dota doesn't grow as fast. Sad.
Yeah. Very sad. So wait, because we started the topic of the 4 European teams that made it, right? It was
Yes.
OG, Gaming Gladiator,
Gladiators.
Team Liquid, and Tundra.
Tundra. Yep.
So 0 chance for... So Secret is not going to the major?
Good morning.
Nope.
How are you? You good?
How are you?
What year is this?
Yeah, they're not owning the midseason right now because they're powering up for TI. This
Wait, I
year will be different.
want to check what happened.
But there's still a tiebreaker happening in Europe, Entity Brain, for Division 2/qualifying.
So
Yeah, relegation.
theoretically, Secret missed 2 majors this year. So did Nigma. It's actually it's the same teams that made it season 1. Exactly the same teams. Team Liquid,
Yep.
Team Tickles, Tundra, and OG.
Yeah, sure.
Interesting. Well,
Just different order.
different order, but then I guess we have a clear top 4 in Europe.
Wouldn't it be funny if the major got cancelled? We did this again, and the same shit happened.
Yeah,
I think it would be
I don't want to think
depressing.
about it. I don't want to think about it. I already bought my tickets. I bought my mom's flights and everything. I'm not doing it again. Please give me one tournament with OG. I still have not gone to one tournament with you guys. And I've been here for 18, 19 months.
Yeah, let's hope.
You want to bet on Entity Brain? Anyone want to guess on who's going to take that one?
Actually, it's not been 18 months.
Beat them 2-0, and
Yeah.
Brain lost 2 times in a row now, like miserably. They got smacked by Tundra as well.
I think Brame is in a pretty bad spot. Dota-wise. I'd bet on Entity.
They beat Secret Enigma though.
Yeah, but I think that was like momentum. I think it looks like the momentum went away.
Just back against the wall, bro. You're facing back to Division 2. Like you're going back down. They're actually fighting for like either one of them going, oh man.
Okay, so OG, obviously, best, number 1. Where do you think that we are in the evolution of the team? Because we always talk about not peaking too early and all that. How do you feel about how we're playing?
How do you feel, Johan? You've been closer to the action.
I mean, it's good. I don't think people are ahead of themselves either. Maybe some are a little bit, but maybe that's also inevitable. Yeah, I don't think they're ready for a TI yet, if I'll speak my mind. They're very ready Dota-wise, but I don't think they're ready for all the things that will be thrown at them from a LAN event point of view, pressure point of view. Like, there's just so many things that could happen that could throw things off, and I don't think they're ready to rebalance quick enough. But they're ready to learn, so I think we're at the perfect time. You know, we're here, we're learning, we're about to have their first full LAN event, hopefully as a team, as a full squad, and that'll be a great opportunity. It might be exactly what they need, or they're too fucking good and shit, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You know, they already got this in the bag. But nah, I think they've got stuff to learn. That's my take. They're very, very skilled. They're very, very Dota minded, like good Dota minded. People have great ideas. They're very motivated. They have so many things that make this also work for them online very well. I think things that didn't work so well for us is that we definitely enjoyed more LAN and motivation for some of these games that didn't have so much on stake. It was just, I think, harder for us to keep even the official games equally hype. But yeah, they're young and super motivated, so they got a lot of things going for them. Just experience lacking.
Yeah, and I think Dota-wise, like I feel like a big difference also in how they play now. I think they're like taking steps and steps in terms of like how sharp and how I feel like maybe season 1 was like a lot about the fundamentals, oiling the machine and stuff, and now I think like they're taking more freedom. They're without like disclosing too much, but I just feel like they're taking like steps like in terms of how subtle the Dota that they play is, and that's super nice to see. I think to me like season 1 they were like 5 very good players like trying to play as well as they could together and trying to align, and now I think they're shaping into like a big team. Of course, there's a lot of you can't just be a big team through Dota. There has to be a lot of things, but in terms of like the Dota that they play, I think it's super promising. It's really nice to see. Like some of the games that they're playing is, some top-notch stuff. So it's super cool to witness.
When was it
I know we
Amar
spoke
started
about-
playing? Sorry, when did he start?
Go ahead.
Was it 2013? I
Who's
heard.
that?
ATF, Amar?
Yeah, good question actually.
Because I heard like he's only played Dota for like
He hasn't
7-8 years or something like that.
he didn't watch TI. He didn't check TI before TI 8. I think he said TI 8 was the first TI that he checked. Just to give you like an idea. So he had no idea TI was even a thing before that, I assume.
I think his brother used to play it. I mean, his
Yeah.
brother has been playing for many years,
Yeah,
so he's been around the game for a while.
but not
I
for
have
so
to-
long. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, for me, that's crazy. You know, that's truly like new generation Dota as well.
Yeah.
I guess that I can see it also that it's so unique what the team is doing, and people are adapting to each other and making some really funny stress happen. And this is also why it's such a fun game, like compared to many other games, is that imprint, that personal imprint that this OG team has, you know? Even though, sure, Misha was inspired by us, Chu is also very inspired by us, and there's definitely OG Dota things that we have done in the past that sometimes shine through, but holy shit, man, like they're first facing Timbersaw and stuff, you know, and making it look so imba, and no other team is doing that. Zero. I think it's so beautiful. It's so nice. It's so cool to see. And this guy is younger than everyone else in the server with less Dota, like
Less
Dota
Dota.
years on his back.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's so fun, and it's challenging them, you know? It's more than challenging. It's dominating them. Wow.
It's super cool.
It's funny.
I also want to give props to BCM. He's playing amazing. I mean, all the kids are playing amazing, but BCM, like his Ember the other day was super impressive.
Yeah.
It gave me Ana vibes, a lot of Ana vibes. His Ember and Yuragi, he's actually one of the most consistent players. He's good and perfect every game.
I think what's
That kid is
crazy
just-
about Yuragi is his hero pool. Honestly, like I've seen him play all the heroes in the game, and he does really well. Like I've seen this guy play PLs and TBs, and you're like, wow, do you know this is like some Arteezy style like mode? I'm gonna carry the game minute 50, and he
jealous,
actually
dude.
does. Dude, then he
It's a-
plays Venge, +1 Venge, just plays for his mid, whatever, and he's killing it too. He's playing Monkey, he's playing, I don't know, Ember safe lane. I've seen so many different heroes. These are like super different ways of playing carry, you know, and he does it so well every time. Kunkas, whatever, like Tinies. It's insane. I don't know how he just. It's rare from the young. Usually, young players, they're like specialists, you know, like they have like. I mean, Amar is a little bit more like that in a way, you know. He has his heroes, and BZM is a little bit like that. Yuragi is like the opposite, in my opinion. Like he just plays everything. You give him any hero, and he's gonna do great on it.
I wanted to say, like, I'm so jealous of Misha sometimes because you know what's the best part is that he also speaks like quite a bit, and he also takes control of the lane quite often, and like tells Misha what to do, says what's important, and all these things. It's like I had this a lot with Sumail as well, but for example with Ana, it was like there's zero of this, and yeah, it's very cool to because he's also here, right, to kind of see he's a very team-oriented player, which I think is a perfect fit. I think they need someone like him
To give you
to
like,
also start working.
you know, the side lanes dynamic. So Yese and I on one side, it would be like, oh, range creep. Okay, yeah, you know, like some like
Pulling the wave, blocking the camp.
it keeps bouncing to each other's, you know, like Yes is gonna tell me, oh, I'm gonna pull. I'm like, all right, okay, I need some regen, or I'm like, I need help with the range keep. Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna do that. And then on the other side, it would be Johan like, okay, I'm gonna pull, and then crickets, you know, like that quiet. You couldn't hear anything. It's
Don't
like
die.
you could hear the wind. You know, your heart is like, okay, I pulled. Nothing. Okay, they're going on me. Nothing. It was
And
really
then
funny.
if you hear that, oh, it's either he's getting first blood or he's getting first blood. You don't know which one, but it's about to happen.
Dude, it was so funny. It was so funny. Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh shit.
That was
I
funny.
was gonna say that I think that Misha was inspired also by Yatoro, and he wanted a carry that could play everything. It was part of the things that he wanted when we started looking at carry players. He said, "I need the versatility because we're getting to a point where your safe lane might have to play everything,
I mean,
everything."
I feel like it complements how Amar wants to play also very much. It's important.
Compliments the team. Yeah,
Yeah.
so much.
It's really important. It's very key that he is so flexible, and I hope I'm sure they understand it to a certain extent, because his versatility, it really puts Amar in a good spot. Like in a lot, he's a scary player to give last pick to, because he has a way to play his heroes where like you give. He can first pick Timber and make you look imba. So imagine if it's the last pick Timber in a perfect Timber game. It's like the game is just done, or other heroes. So when you can shove any hero on Yuragi, worst case scenario, it's drafting wise, it gives them a lot of freedom. It's really nice.
This is why I think he should get a lot of praise,
Yeah.
because he gets stuck sometimes with the hero that no one wants.
Yeah. I mean,
Dude, all the time. I don't know. There's this thing where somebody, I'm not gonna like break it down in front of the whole world, but somebody wants Razor to be picked. It's not Yuragi. Yuragi doesn't fucking want the Razor to be picked. He fucking hates playing the hero. And then always this happened so many times apparently that he gets shoved, the Razor gets shoved on him, and the mood just dies, because everybody knows. It's like, why is he playing it again? Like, who did this time, And everybody's just tilted because this is typical in Dota. Somebody being really obsessed with something and they're not able to take the full responsibility.
Johan, we have some heroes that we played in all the lanes. Like the Razor, we can play mid, safe lane, off lane. We don't care. We'll play it anywhere. It's incredible. I mean, it's obviously so fascinating how much Dota these kids play and how good they are at Dota. And I think Misha wanted that flexibility. And dude, like we're playing so many crazy combos, and so many crazy heroes.
I think special mention also to Taiga, because I feel like he has taken the space that he should be taking. I mean, he always did, but in terms of Dota, I feel like he's much more comfortable also, much more... I think he spent a lot of time adapting and trying to understand what would be optimal for the team, which is great, props to him for doing so. But maybe he delayed a little bit also, he's very selfless, so he maybe delayed a little bit how he wanted to fit into that and what he needed from the team for him to feel good and be enabled. And I feel like this is happening like more and more, and you feel his presence in the games more and more. You felt it a lot, but now there are games where I feel like he just crushes the game, like, because you can tell that he feels like he can take the space when he wants it, and the team also is ready to give him the space, which is super nice to see.
He's been amazing to play.
Best Enigma in the world right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He's the only one. I mean, they have so many things that they're the only ones doing, and that says that's like a statement. When you do that, it means you're peaking.
Yeah. And what I missed, a special mention also for Misha, because Seb, you speak all the time. We don't really say that very out loud, but you think that Misha is probably one of the best button clicker 5s in the world. His spell casting is just perfect every time.
Yeah, I think he doesn't. Because it's always like that for some reason. It's like if you're gonna be a very good teammate, then there's just this assumption that you might be a little bit worse and you're compensating. But he's not. He's truly not. I think he's really smart and really good. Like the way he plays the game, like literally the button clicking, I think is super good from him. Yeah, you can take a closer look at what he does in the games and stuff, and it's really nice.
I'm trying to convince him to play Prophet. I'm trying to convince him to play Prophet and Simplicity. Yeah.
He would own with them, I'm sure.
No, I think he wants to. I think he wants to get ready, but he's taking one hero at a time. He's grinding, getting comfortable. Like, they're all on a really good path, man. They're on a really good path. Like, I still think the resilience and the positive energy that like the radiates from Misha, And I say resilience because holy shit, man, like it hasn't swayed yet much, like very, very little. And when it does, he talks to me, but it doesn't sway in front of the team. That's the most impressive part, right?
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, that's also why we chose him. For at least one of the reasons why I chose him is he fucking wants this so bad,
Yeah.
and you can tell. And he's doing everything he can. He is like the best version of himself to make this shit happen.
And he's strong, right? Like I mean, like he has really strong. What's the way to say it in English? Like strong shoulders. I feel like he can carry a lot of weight on his shoulders without shaking.
He does. I think he also has a bit of my fault, which is like he will let shit slide because he is too caring, and he won't. Yeah, he will let something sit for too long, just because he cares too much. But he hasn't lost control yet, or like, yeah. And this is like you probably cannot be like that without always seeing the good. And when you do that, it's like sometimes it bites you, but whatever.
Of course, there's always downsides to the stands you're gonna take, but as long as
he's so full of energy, man. He's so fucking full of energy. It's so good to see him and True.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And there's no secret when a team performs like that. You gotta have the head of the team doing good things. Also, like it's important. Yeah.
When you see someone doing this, like in the beginning of the day, it's gonna be like something is coming. Somebody's coming for you, and I always see Misha like fucking going in.
Yeah.
I think that we have like a interesting but perfect combination of elements, because Misha was like, in a way, he learned from you guys, but now he has a lot of your experience, but also you guys set up like a mood, and everybody around the kids loves Dota and loves them. So, they're surrounded by this cycle of positivity the whole day. There's nobody, like every single time we communicate with them is amazing things. And I'm not saying that everything is perfect, Johan, but it's like in OG, everybody loves Dota so much. All our staffers, all our social media, everybody just breathes and loves Dota. So yes, when you start winning, it's much easier to feel happy. I mean, last year with you guys, it was freaking fucking rough, to feel happy week after week, because they were like, oh, well, we're getting dumpster again. Yeah, so, I mean,
I think what's important is that now is the time where you make the reserves for winter, because winter is coming. It's gonna come. So if now there's a lot of positivity and a lot of pride, and you name it, whatever, all the great things that come with everything clicking and working out, it's time to put them aside so that when the tougher day come and they're gonna come, we have that to chew on and remember, hey, this is what it felt like, this is what it truly was. And now there's not, because there's like a bunch of clouds, that the sky isn't blue. It's still blue. The sky stays the sky no matter how many clouds there are. So don't get faded by it. And yeah, I think it's important also for the people that surround the team to also have that in mind, like obviously things are easier when the team wins, and because it just, you get the reward, you get the quick reward in a way, but truly the actions that are taken, they deserve to be celebrated. And when there's a reward, now it's just, the celebration just comes naturally. But I do think that even with all that reward, you could still look at this half glass that's half full and be like, well, people are, because when the team is going to be losing, they're still going to be working hard, still giving their best. All the individuals that we described, they're still going to do every day what they've been doing that got them to dominate the European division. And maybe for certain reasons it's not going to work, but that's fine, that's okay. And especially in these moments, this is when themselves and the people around them are going to need to stay clear on what it truly is and what's truly happening. So yeah, that's it's important.
We get pretty humble on the scrims, eh? We get pretty fucked in the scrims sometimes. So I think that's even it out.
Every team. I think it's also like it happens a lot also when, I don't know how you feel about it, Johan, but I feel like whenever a team does really well in officials and they found their system, maybe the scrims are not as, like a bad scrim is like, it's just a bad scrim. Maybe there's not so much weight put on the scrims also.
Yeah, but they still get frustrated for sure.
Yeah,
and you can see it, and it's like, then they're like, they go out of the game. It's like, I still want to play more. It's like, you're not fully committing to the practice, but you still just want to jerk off here? Like, do you like just jerking off together? Is that it? Like, we can all fucking go in and lose together, but it's like some people at some days they're like, fuck, man, like this is not how I want to be spending my time, or it's like not the most fun I could have, and you know what I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
and sometimes it's like that, and this is where you need to be like a group and be like, sorry guys, I can't do it right now for these 2 games. I'm gonna give it my 70% or as much as I can, but it might not be my 100. One day some dude's gonna be like, I need somebody, like one day where we all give it our best. Like, I can't take this anymore, you know? Like another slow game or another game that we should have won, or somebody dropping the ball. I can't take it anymore. And that's fair too, right? Like, I think everybody has that requirement to see that if we're practicing, if we're playing together, I need to see how good we can be. Because if not, like, I'm gonna start doubting, and I think that's natural. So they do get frustrated, and I'm sure it's something to do with that. I'm sure it's like normal and is part of the process, but yeah, this is the secret sauce, and I'm very happy to spill it. You know, be a good person, be the best version of yourself, try your hardest, and eventually you might make it. You know, and if everybody does that, fuck it, I win too, because the world will be better. But this is where most people will falter. They can't do what it takes. Those days when it's the darkest, when everything is fucking shitty and you doubt everything, this is when you're gonna have to try even harder. You know, you're just gonna have to keep walking, even though your body's giving up. You just have to keep walking. Some people give up. On the other side, it's very beautiful. Yeah.
So we spoke the other week about gaming gladiators. I would love to hear your thoughts about Tundra and Liquid. Did you saw the Liquid versus gaming gladiators series?
Yeah.
Actually, I missed that one. It was yesterday. Yeah, missed it.
I was watching. Yeah, I mean, let me just pull up the drafts for myself too, because it was 3 games. I mean,
the last one was the bear.
Well, to be honest, I still feel the Liquid players, right? Like, I feel the Matu impact, like Insania, Mikke. Like, I feel like Gaming Gladiators, they're a team that they have like a system. You know what I mean? So whenever I think when Liquid plays Gaming Gladiator, they're playing Gaming Gladiator's game, because I don't think Liquid even knows what Liquid's game is. That's how it feels to me, you know, which is not like a bad thing. So, you know, what we learned also from DPC competing ourselves is that there is a particular way to prepare for these games, and I feel like some of the teams still haven't adapted, like some of the maybe old guard players. And Liquid, like, they're too versatile for these games, if that makes sense, you know? Like, I think if they narrow down things to like a system that's like easier to master, then they would probably do better, which I think Gaming Gladiator is doing. It shows also in the drafts. Like, they have their system, they know what they want, they know the kind of game they want to force Liquid into, and it works really well, and they execute really well too. And I think Liquid, they just go with the flow, you know, so they need like a lot of improvisation, talent, you know, flashes of brilliance. So it's like an uphill battle in a way. But even though they're fighting this uphill battle, they still look good, in my opinion, which says a lot. So I wouldn't really like. Of course, Gaming Gladiators beat them and they're ahead of them in the league, but I don't think they're. I don't know. If I spoke my mind, I would even say that I think Liquid is a little bit stronger, but obviously the results don't show that, and they might prove me wrong. But I think Liquid is strong. I see some flaws also, but very strong team in my opinion.
Awesome.
I mean,
and Tundra, better or worse with Fada? Without Fada?
That's hard to say, because I called it like one of the worst kicks in Dota history.
Except Twitter.
so far, the prophecy didn't come, but the Artesio one took some time. This one, I'm hoping that's.
Oh, this shit, one actually,
it took some time, but today it doesn't look so bad. But this one, I'm giving it maybe 5 to 6 years. Let's see. Honestly, I don't know. I need to see more. Like, obviously, you remove Fada, that's a big loss, but you bring in Saxa, which, is always going to be a big bonus, because of how good this guy is at the game. I just feel like maybe they have less, what's it called? Things in stock, when they're going to get super challenged, when they're going to be back against the wall. the old roster to me felt like it could bounce back always. They could figure it out. Maybe this one, I don't know if they have as much of it. That's my take, but it could be a. Don't bet on that take. It might be a really bad take.
Yeah, I'm curious too because I think a lot of these things also comes down to what kind of how strong of a team you are when faced with how to say it, like when faced with more unorthodox or more unknown strategies, like things in Dota. And let's say you're a team from Europe and or a team from a region, and you practice some things. Let's say I think Wings would be top 2 in the world at playing against anyone in the world, if you understand what I mean. Whereas maybe a team like Tundra, this is just a vibe I get from some teams, and I think Tundra might be one of them too. Like if you get quickly drawn into a new meta, you might not be as adaptable or be able to switch up, because you're trying to adapt to them instead of also coming up with something new. If you're too rigid, it doesn't work. And I wonder if this team is slightly more rigid because of adding Saxa and removing Fara. I'm not sure. I think snaking is also very Dota inspirational and like very full of ideas, and I'm sure it's not the only one. But I think Fara was pretty exceptional at that. I think it's often been one of his strong points, or like often it's been for a very long time, if not since the beginning, one of his strong points. But yeah, I don't know what you think about that, Seb. Like I take great pride in also trying that myself. Like new Dota, you play Wings, it's like Anti-Mage Centaur Chen. You play Wings, it's like Agward and AA. You don't know, and you always have to adapt. And I think truly that's also great Dota, and where the greatest Dota will often be like that is going to be TI.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it, right? I mean, I think the words you put on that like is perfect. It really describes also what I was trying to say, but I couldn't find the right words. Like, think about it. Like these teams. I mean, now of course, back to what we spoke at the beginning of the podcast. Like we don't really know, but theoretically, these teams should meet international teams at the major sooner than later, and you're one of these teams, you're gonna have to play teams like Gaming Gladiator, for instance, that have like a scripted system. You know their picks, their comfort zone. It always comes every game, and then you're gonna play these teams that are picking whatever. Gaming Gladiator last game they picked first pick Marks Eng 3 games in a row, strong cores, blah blah blah. Then on the other side, you're gonna meet LGD. They're playing Phoenix almost every game. They're playing like heavy team fight. Ame is still like mega farm mode. They're aiming for the late games. It's like a completely different meta. Then you have the C meta that's even more different from these teams. And it's like you cannot go into these games with a with like a pre-made idea of what you're gonna do. Like you have to be ready to adapt. You're gonna be forced to adapt, or they're gonna break you wide open. These teams, like eventually, what you do is not gonna work against one of these teams, and then you're gonna be really, really clueless. So as you said, like for these teams that are more rigid, I like the word. I think it describes really well. Some of these teams are too rigid, and maybe they can not be rigid, but they haven't been forced to show something else, and then these teams are going to do great. And maybe they are just too rigid, and then they can't really. They don't really have a second card that they can play, and then these teams are going to collapse, or like they're going to do worse. And yeah, I guess we don't really know if Tundra is one of these teams or not. Like so that's probably the best way to put it.
For me, I echo what you guys said. I think that the team got a little bit too more dimensional, but at the same time a little bit more dangerous because they are cleaner on some of the things that they do.
That's
true.
They
were with Fara.
Yeah.
They're very, very clean. Some of the strats you can see that they can play those strats a little bit better because maybe Saska is just a better player, but I think they got a little bit too more dimensional. So we'll see. Yeah,
that's a good point. Any thoughts of NA tiebreaker?
Well, three. You remember we talked about this last on Thursday? Yeah. I told them the thing could happen. It's like rock, paper, scissors. EG has Quincy has TSM, and TSM has EG.
So are tiebreakers going to happen for sure here?
Well, yeah, because they're playing for a slot. Like one team will not make it, 2 teams will.
And have they announced when they're gonna be played?
It's tonight, right?
Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Friday. Okay.
So I literally just messaged Jack right now as we were live, and he says Friday 3 p.m. So by the time this comes out, They already been played.
Okay.
So who do you have? Come on, make a bid. A bet. This will be after, you know, the games are played.
Tough one.
I mean, I want Yes to make it, so Yes is gonna make it.
How many two teams are gonna make it only?
Yeah, 2 out of the 3.
Let me flip a coin for the other two. So heads for Quincy, tails for TSM. What did I say? Heads for Quincy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think Quincy is gonna make it.
EG Quincy.
EG Quincy.
EG Quincy.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be TSM Quincy.
You think EG will make it?
I have to go for the underdogs.
I
Quincy
mean,
crew is such a
mathematically,
weird team.
Quincy is the weakest because they have actually 5 map losses, and the other ones have 4 and 3. So just mathematically.
I just don't know why when Quincy plays EG, I don't know why they just don't show the best version of themselves. And when Quincy plays TSM, Quincy looks like the TI champion, yeah?
Yeah.
It's such a strange combination. And the same thing with TSM. TSM dumpsters EG. And then EG dumpsters Quincy, yeah?
I feel like Quincy, like maybe they're a little bit stronger strategically than TSM, but I think that TSM plays better. That's how I feel. I mean, right now, at least from what I've saw, even though they lost. And I think EG is better than both these teams. That's kind of how I feel. But yeah, but EG, I think EG is like building still. They're in the building process. Like I was watching. So I watched pretty closely their series against Quincy the other day. Or no, was it against Quincy? TSM, sorry, when he went for 3 games that they lost. And yeah, they were actually trying to play as a style that they usually don't really play. Like they were playing super fast, like applying a lot of pressure and stuff. And some sequences they were doing it really well, and some sequences it was like not so well. So they ended up losing, but I think to me they showed something that could be very promising if they and I think had they played, for instance, like the first 10 minutes of the game, I think it was some good stuff, you know. And I think had they played the entire game like that, they would look like on a completely different level in that league, like completely different level. They would look like LGD, like, you know. But they didn't, and it's not easy to execute. But yeah, I'll put EG top 1 too, but they might also not be ready for the tiebreakers, so it's hard to say.
If you have to take a guess, choose 2 teams.
Maybe EG Quincy. I could agree with that, but yeah, like if
EG Quincy.
yeah, rational guess EG Quincy in terms of Dota, EG TSM for now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will see. We will see what happens then. Okay, boys. To wrap it up this episode, we have 5 more minutes. Any other topic that you would like to discuss regarding the current state of Dota? Oh, of course, we have one thing to discuss. The show that we're doing in Stockholm. So we're gonna be doing an after dark podcast every show. Sorry. So the moment that the game finishes, we're gonna be live from Stockholm, from the Red Bull Sphere. Johan and I will be there, and Seb, we are going to announce this week that he will be there with us. And yeah, the moment is like the moment that the games finish, we're live. We're gonna be talking about the games, breaking down the games, making fun of Seb. You know, the classic interaction between the 3 of us.
You coming to the major, Seb?
Yeah.
Fuck
Surprise!
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
I have to leave on the what is it? The Monday, I think, or the Sunday night or something like that.
Stay for after party.
I might, yeah. That's the tricky thing if I can make it or not, because I have a wedding on Wednesday, and it's in Greece in some hard to access part of Greece, so it's like, yeah.
Okay, we'll just pause the major for you. We'll pause the after party for you to come back.
No. But it's like I'll be there for 95% of the action, and then the last 5% have a question mark, but it's okay.
We haven't been in the same room since TI.
Yeah.
Since Romania.
Yeah.
So it'll be great.
Oh man,
have you there.
what a weird bunch of years, honestly. Like everything seems so disconnected. So, it's crazy. But yeah, hopefully we're out of that soon. But now they're starting again, China. Anyways.
But anyway, the show will be great. We're gonna be producing it with Red Bull, and it will be out on Twitch, and it will be like around an hour to 2 hour show every day. The moment that the game finishes, we will have audiences, we will have activations there, and I think obviously it's gonna be absolutely terrifying doing this show live. We have to be very careful with what we say, and we're gonna have a few other interesting guests that I'm gonna have to give them like an eject button in case of one of them says something. They can be teleported out of the venue because we're gonna try to bring
cut the mic off.
Yeah, we're gonna bring some of very interesting characters from that part of the world that lives there, and they're famous for. I mean, people can sure figure out what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's super exciting. I think that we made this podcast together, and this is something that we wanted to do. And now that Johan and Seb are not playing, it's a great opportunity to get them to do more things, share more knowledge. And how awesome would it be, that you guys get to break down the games right after the games are finished. So, yep.
Yeah, it's going to be super cool. I'm really looking forward to it.
Hopefully, let's see, maybe ESL will hire me next time if we do a good enough job at showing our ability here to be analysts, Seb. I don't know.
I don't know.
In your dreams.
So yeah, are you scared at all about going live? I'm the only one that has never done it live because both of you have been in TI panels and that. For me, I'm terrified.
I'm not so scared. It will be fine. It will be just very smooth. You just have to not think about it. Honestly, sometimes I even forget we're not live here. But at the same time, I say that, and then I get a Reddit thread every 3 months, so I'm probably not good at it. But you're bad, and you just
I was gonna say.
you just have to accept that you're bad, and yeah, just be you. It's fine.
I think that for me, I play like a fundamental part of this team because I get most of the hate, and it's good. You guys are like, oh my god, Johan and Sep is great, but who the fuck is this JMR Luna? Why is he there?
You'll be my cancel shield. It's nice.
Yeah, I see myself like answering sometimes on Reddit like, well, fuck you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But then I was like, no, probably I should not say this here.
Hit escape, Jay. Hit escape. Don't hit enter.
I type it. No. It's okay. Okay, well, this is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please ask questions, leave comments for the algorithm so we can beat Kyle in every other episode. That will be our approach going on. And see everybody soon.